Hi, I'm Karen with Hiccup Interactive, and today I'm going to be introducing Urchins Ink, also known as Uni Tosumi. Urchins Ink is a 2D shooter where you play as Sumi, the squid, who's trying to learn more about the Japanese alphabet, but these rude little sea urchins keep trying to bully her into quitting. So, be sure to swim quick and think and don't lose your ink, and prove that practice makes perfect in this lovely Japanese educational game. So, what about the alphabet will you be learning in Japanese? The game covers both hiragana and katakana writing styles of the Japanese phonetic alphabet. It'll cover the vowels and a particular consonant set of characters within each level so you can learn all of the alphabet characters in chunks. You can easily switch between hiragana and katakana for whichever one that you need to practice more. Whenever that you defeat an enemy, there will also be a bit of a sound bite for each of the characters so that you can also hear how to properly pronounce these. So let's get to the reef and see about so many other things that I've been working on. Alright, so fun fact, Urchins Ink originally was called Oya Oyasumi and it was a typing game. I am in the process of porting it over to mobile, so that one with dual joysticks, where one joystick will control the movement and the other will deal with aiming the little bubbles and ink blots that Sumi will shoot out. So, general how to play the game, you swim around the environment and you pick up these little English characters in order to spell whatever that appears on the sea urchins whenever that they show up. And you can drop these characters, you can hold up to 3. Let's just get 3 random ones, and let's try to get a 4th. Boop. Oh no, nothing happens. All of the characters within the alphabet, it maxes out at 3, so that's as much as you can hold, and there will be hint hops to show if you're getting closer or colder with the respective characters that are currently on screen. So let's get some enemies in and see about some other things. Alright, so the little sea urchins following. I have the translation on the bottom of the sea urchin just for like demonstration purposes, and I'll show what it'll look like without the translation on the bottom later on, but for now, so you can see what the thought process is, this is all. So you pick that up, he turns blue, and you can shoot him and get rid of him. Generally, I kind of like to compare this to sort of like a gridless Pac-Man type deal. They swim around and they're essentially invulnerable to your shots. Ooh, I'm just so fast. See, he's still alive. Physics are something that I'm also working on because I'm sure he's kind of got kicked off into oblivion for the moment, but let's refresh that. Alright, so that one is K. Pick up the K, pick up the E, and 3 shots in order to be able to get rid of him, and so on and so forth. So the game is kind of like more prone to encouraging a bit of trial and error. It's easy to kind of just swim around, pick up characters, and drop them to see what matches and what kind of lets you know that you're on the right track. So eventually everything can be learned through repetition and familiarity with the characters. As you kind of get used to things in a bit more of a, more fast-paced kind of fun situation instead of just pure boring writing the characters over and over and over again, like how I learned. Alrighty, let's put in some more. If you've noticed, whenever that Sumi gets touched by a character, she kind of glows blue for a bit. She has a little bit of immunity. For the moment, I only have placeholder animations and assets. I am not an artist, I do not claim to be. I do feel like I have the eye for art, but not so much the hands to execute it. I did make the little sea urchin sprites, so I am quite proud of those. My encouragement, kind of, or inspiration more so, came from the Soot Sprites in Spirited Away, so take that with what you will. I've kind of just been putting in placeholder animations for the time being to like get the game to feeling how I want it to feel, and will update those whenever that I commission an artist specifically for that. So we've got a few more enemies on screen, and they'll just swim around and chase you indefinitely until you get the right characters in order to be able to get rid of them. Now, something that I am working on is, see with the bullets, whenever that Sumi will have a matching character like that, I'm thinking of switching it over to sort of like a honing bullets, to where they'll kind of like aim a bit more towards the matching character, just to kind of add a bit more of a reward for getting the getting the correct letters for the character situated, as well as I've been working on the AI for the enemies. As you can see, there is a little bit of an issue with how they're navigating around in the scene. I'm working on the logic to where whenever that it matches, they will run away properly without completely disappearing off the screen forever, or getting stuck running into other enemies. I'm also smoothing out some of the word validation to where if, say on screen, let's do another roll, say on screen there are two characters that start with K. See, big money, big money, big money, big money. Where's the third guy? No K. Alright, say that there's two characters on screen that start with a K. So say there's K-A and K-O. Lovely. So, oh, also the English characters are also randomly generated into place along with the Japanese characters that follow behind the enemies. All randomly generated. So you kind of just can't get used to, oh, the first one's going to be or or something like that. So say there's two characters on screen that start with K. There are three right now, so it's even better. You pick up the K, all three of those should glow to signify like, hey, you've got part of it correct. You pick up the U, the other ones would go back to being black, and the one that matches would stay there. So you can play the game being completely brand new to the alphabet and not be expected to know anything from the beginning. I'm also working on a bit of a practice mode that would include these translations on the bottom. Really quick, I'm going to turn that off. Another thing I've kind of been doing in the code is switching where that is handled, so it's not a scene thing. So pardon my wait to, there we go, compile. Alrighty, oh, we got some more Ks. Cool, so this is what the actual game would look like without the translations on the bottom. So again, picking up something, searching out, oh, gonna get hit a little bit. Oh, nothing's KA, let's try KI, nope. KU, oh, there we go, we've got one of those. Oh no, not K, oh, there you go. Ooh. And so on and so forth. So the game is I'm encouraging a bit of trial and error and kind of just like quickly picking up pieces. If you've already know one of the letters, then you can just go straight for it, get rid of that guy and move on to the next one. It's also, since it's going to be split up, you can kind of focus in on whatever characters that you kind of have an issue with distinguishing. There are several characters that look very similar to one another with the Japanese writing system. So those type of things will be addressed and you can focus on those. The game is just aimed to be fun for beginners and just kind of add a bit more encouragement to learning the language instead of being afraid of approaching a pictographic language that doesn't use the English alphabet. So in general, that's a lot of what I've been focusing on. I'm also working on the sound bites. For whenever that you defeat an enemy, it'll speak what the sound would be for it. So you hidden urchin that has ka on it. A little ka will pop up so that you can also recognize the sound along with what the symbol looks like. So yeah, working on things piecemeal, updating some of the methodologies and ways that I'm focusing on things in the programming and trying out some different frameworks as I'm using more updated versions of Unity than what I started with this game when I started this a couple years ago. So yeah, let me know of any feedback that you may have and any other comments, or if you'd even like to play this type of game. I'd greatly appreciate anything. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.